It all started with a name that wasn't mine, murmured in the dark, just before dawn. I lay there, eyes wide open, listening as my wife, half asleep, whispered it like a secret she'd carried for years. The way she said it, soft, practiced, almost tender. My heart sank. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. I just stared at the ceiling, letting that name echo in my mind until it felt less like a word and more like a wound. The next morning, I played my part. Kissed her goodbye, told her I'd be working late, maybe all weekend. She smiled, bright, easy, the kind of smile you give when you think you've fooled everyone. I smiled back, careful not to let it reach my eyes. Because I already knew where she was going. And I already knew who'd be waiting for her. But what she didn't know, what neither of them knew, was that I would be waiting too. And I wouldn't be alone. The beach house was supposed to be our little paradise. She liked to call it her escape, loved filling it with flowers and little touches to make it hers. But every inch of that place, every stone, every window, every bottle of wine chilling in the fridge, that was all me. My money. My design. My dream. And yet, that's where she brought him. The man she'd called just a friend 4 months. The one whose name started popping up in her stories, whose messages she always seemed to hide. I noticed the little things first, a different perfume, laughter that wasn't meant for me, late nights that didn't add up. Then came the weekend business trip that didn't line up with her calendar. The night she came home glowing, cheeks flushed, with a smile that didn't belong to me. And that name again, spoken into her wineglass, as if she'd forgotten I was even there. I didn't confront her. Not yet. The hardest part of betrayal isn't discovering it, it's pretending you haven't. So I watched. I waited. I started piecing things together, a name on her iPad, a calendar alert she forgot to delete, patterns that didn't make sense unless you were looking for them. Eventually, I hired someone to help me find the truth. Discreetly. And the truth was everything I feared. He was married, too. His wife, Elena, was quiet and sharp, with the kind of coldness that came from being hurt one too many times. We met in a little cafe, neither of us hungry. She slid a folder across the table, photos, phone logs, receipts. Proof. We didn't talk about revenge. We talked about closure. About letting the truth speak for itself. So, we made a plan. That weekend, I told my wife I'd be working. She barely pretended to care. They arrived at the beach house just after sunset, she in white, trying to look innocent, him carrying a bottle of wine like he belonged there. I watched from upstairs as Elena waited in the master bedroom, sitting in my favorite chair. We heard them laughing, coming inside. Then footsteps. Then silence. He saw Elena first. She saw me. 4 people. 2 marriages. 1 truth. I stepped forward and handed my wife the folder Elena had brought. She flipped through it, her face draining of color. I can explain, she whispered. No, I said, softly. You can't. They say revenge is sweet. But in that moment, it just felt quiet, still. Elena stood up, ready to leave. My wife reached for me, but I stepped back. You brought him here, I said. To my house. Tears welled up in her eyes, not from grief, but from fear. What do you want from me? She asked. Nothing, I replied. And I meant it. We left them there, two people tangled in their own lies. Before I closed the door, I looked back just once. I paid for this weekend, I said. Enjoy it. Elena and I drove away in silence. There was nothing left to say. Sometimes, the truth is enough. Sometimes, the best revenge is letting people see exactly who they are. When I got home, I opened a bottle of scotch I'd been saving not for a celebration, but for a moment like this. I sat in the quiet, feeling the weight of years lift off my shoulders. No anger. No heartbreak. Just clarity. She'll come back. She'll beg for forgiveness. But she doesn't know she lost me long before that night. The man she betrayed is gone. And honestly, I don't miss him at all.